Good morning. I'm Glenn Young, Amazon's fitness magazine owner of Amazon Fitness Magazine. Celebrate the female physique. Subscribe to amazonsfitmag.com. The podcast is brought to you by Maximus Posing Suits. Let your inner warrior shine. Custom-made competition suits for victory on every stage. MaximusPosingSuits.com. And Murder Weight Apparel, bronze level sponsor. You're not just wearing a clothing brand, you're wearing a mindset. Murderweight.com. And of course, GPS photography and video. Why photography and video? Because a photo's worth 1,000 words, video's worth 1,000,000. GPSphotoandvideo.com. My guest, IFBB Women's Physique Pro Olympian, Sandra
Mhm.
Knezevic. Good morning from live from Switzerland. Well, it's morning here.
Yeah. Good afternoon
And
from Switzerland.
yeah, there you go. So early morning, I'm glad we could make this, reschedule this interview. Of course, Hela Travino reached out to me and said, "Hey, Glenn, I got an athlete going to the Olympia from the Imperial," and she said, "Hey, would you like the interview?" I said, "Yeah, of course." So that's great. And Hela Travino is your coach, correct?
Yes, Hela Travino has been my coach since May 2019. We are now for many years together. I very appreciate her as a coach, as a friend. She has so
Mm-hmm.
much knowledge and she's one of the best in the world. And it's really an honor to work with somebody who has so much experience and also has the passion to give this to me and other athletes to teach them what they have experienced, what they know, that we can bring it to the stage and show it to the fans.
And that's great. And she's a great person as well, not just a world class athlete, sponsored athlete of Amazon's Fitness Magazine. And so now it's going to be interesting because I'm going to reach out to her and interview her as we get closer to the Olympia. How do you manage coaching an athlete that is on the same big Olympia stage as you? That will be my main question for her. And of course, you work with Team for Pro
Mhm.
with not just Hella, but also Gina Cavalario. So that's great as well.
Yes, I mean, this good thing about Team for Pro is you have there so many pro athletes. Everybody has
Yes.
an other experience and some other skills. Um, I have worked with Hella together, but now for the Olympia prep, I will be coming to the States a little bit earlier. So I'm planning to come in September to the
Excellent.
States and train with Gina. And Gina has some very good training techniques and also the neurostim machine. And I want to try that I can get everything, the best out that I can have. And, it, you know, if you have chances to work with such good people, you have to grab
Yes,
them. It is a once in a lifetime opportunity.
it is. So, and I was going to ask, obviously, you're not going to do anything between now and the Olympia. You're just going to shut it down and prepare, correct?
Yes, it is also, I work full time in another job in an office. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't have so much vacation. I've used a lot of vacation now for preparation of the Emperor Classic. I have
Right.
some more days left for the Olympia. So my focus is now really on Olympia.
Yeah. The Impro Classic, great coverage by uh, JB and AJ, female bodybuilding
Mhm.
channel. Did you get to talk to those guys and meet those guys?
Yes, it was funny that I had some contact after my first pro show 5.5 years ago. I had some Instagram
Mm-hmm.
contact with those, and I also saw JB sometimes, and they didn't recognize me in backstage. So I really
Mm.
surprised them, and after the show, I was. Oh, I was already wearing a sweater and everything.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, we want to do an interview." I was like, "Oh, I don't have my bikini on." They're like, "Oh, it doesn't matter. Just do an interview." And it was very funny. And those two are very good guys, and they do so
They are.
much for our sport, just promoting,
Mm-hmm.
going to the shows. And it is here in Europe. Many people they don't buy the live stream because it's money, but
Mm-hmm.
when they see on female bodybuilding channel or on your channel, some short videos, they watch them, and this is for them enough. This is good. This makes a promotion for the sport.
That's great. Well, I gotta make sure I gotta try to get more coverage to you guys. So I'd be
Yes.
interested to know your ideas, and of course, I'm always working with Female Bodybuilding Channel as well because they got the worldwide stage. They got that overseas presence, and so it was
Hmm.
just natural for me to have that partnership with them. So they got great coverage, and they'll be covering Portugal all this week. Are you going to the Portugal Pro just to see, or
No, I don't have time to travel,
right?
but I will be watching. Also, Jay Fuchs,
Yes.
who's coached by Hela Travino, she will be
Yeah.
competing as well as Victoria Knish. So
Yeah.
there is some other people from the team who have the chance to go to the Olympia.
Yeah. Jay Fuchs, Sherry Priami. So
Mhm.
this is gonna be great laydown.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Looking forward to it. And then as you get later in the season, the shows get more and more competitive, just because, hey, everybody's trying to get that punch that golden ticket to go to the Olympia. So
Yeah, there are not so many shows left, until the
right.
Olympia. So I don't know why not so many people have competed. Maybe
Hmm.
because it's a long distance to the Olympia and you have to stay on
Right.
the diet and everything. But the closer the shows comes, the more competitors will go on, and then more
True.
competitive it will get, and more fun for the fans.
Oh yeah, it's great for the fans because the way it's working out, you seeing the best. Well, you always see the best against the best, but as that bottlenecks at the top, like I said, there's 7 shows left.
Mhm.
Chicago, Tampa, Portugal, Romania, Atlanta, Anaheim, and the Rising Phoenix, and that's it. And it's like it's really a story, as I did with the interview with Sheena Oleg. Is not the point of who's in at this point in the year, is who's on the outside looking in. So yeah, that makes great for great competition, and I think that's what went down well when they got rid of the point system. It,
Mhm.
it did become more competitive because you win and you're in, but at the same time, they lost some shows. So if you can get more shows uh, up there going into the 2025 season would be great. So
Yes,
tell me about
I think so too.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, I was saying yes. I think so too. Yes, I agree to that.
Okay. Now, how did you go when you start out bodybuilding? How did you end up doing women's physique? Were there any other categories you thought of before, or you just went straight into women's physique?
Well, I started my first show as an amateur was 2013. It wasn't a federation. It was a private show where people can compete for free. It was Top to
Hmm.
Colmar in France, and it's an awesome show. There are about 2,000 people watching, coming there, so it's pretty big with 600 athletes, and
Yeah.
the biggest division there was body fitness. So it was similar to physique, but you did wear high heels.
Mm.
So this is where I started. And I was always saying to my coach, like, oh, I was always walking in sneakers around, and high heels was something like, oh, I need to train, and it's difficult. Then you are on diet, you don't have so much water, it's difficult to balance. So I was saying,
Yeah.
I don't want to wear high heels. I want to grow and to get in the next higher division. So I
Hmm.
was super happy when women's physique came up. I mean, this division is not that old. Also, it started 2013
Yep.
with Dana Lynn Bailey, who was the
Yep.
first winner. And I was super happy because I like this division. For
Hmm.
me, because it's conditioned, but you have also muscle there, and I was like,
Right.
oh, this is really the thing for me.
And it's great because about at the same time that you started competing or got that gym membership, it just matched out perfectly for you. So yeah,
Yes,
women's
yes.
women's physique is a great division. Love it. This year, y'all got more shows obviously than women's bodybuilding, which is a good thing. Hopefully, women's bodybuilding get more as well. But the biggest thing is about people or competitors were not showing up earlier in the year. And I like to get your opinion. It just takes longer, I think, to prep. Or does it matter to you when you compete during the year? Are you more or less you want to get through the holidays and then start prep, or what is best for you?
And for me, prepping is. I mean, it didn't make so much shows, but as I work in a job in the office, we have certain times I cannot take vacation. So I
Right.
have to plan the competitions and the preparations around my work. So, for instance, summer is always a good time because most people go on vacation, they have school
Hmm.
holidays and everything. So this is a good thing.
Hmm.
But shows like in fall are usually not that good because between summer and winter, people want to work and don't want to do projects. So I have
Right.
to help them. And then winter time is always good because then it's Christmas and everything is like, yeah,
Yeah.
there you have enough time. So for me, it's like I really have to plan ahead if I want to make an
Right.
show, and I also have to communicate it with my employer that they see that they have enough resources, and
Yeah.
yes, and then you just start and do your prep. And I think prep is something for me. It's like the contest is just the top of a prep, but it,
Hmm.
you can have a long prep and not so hard, or a short prep and pretty hard. Depends on the athlete who's competing.
So how was it getting back to Hela Travino? Was she hard on you? How did she prepare you? Because she went crazy when they announced you you were to getting the pro card, or I mean, getting your Olympia qualification. And I was like, wow, this is great. So what was it like with her this prep?
Well, I've been working with Hella so many years, since
Yeah.
2019. We had so many up and downs, and personally, we are totally different. Like really the opposite, like
Mm.
day and night. So I know how to stress her, and she knows how to stress me. So
Oh,
we
really?
really
Okay.
a good team together. So this prep, I had some issues with yes, former injuries, and so I I really started out early and said to her, "Listen, I don't cannot say if I can do every exercise or every training that you put on the plan. We have to talk." And she
Right.
was very sensitive to that, and we really had like we talked weekly about the progress, what is going, what is not going, and she really adjusted every little thing, that it was perfect. And also last year in summer, she was on Europe tour, and I
Hmm.
invited her to Switzerland for training. She was here for several weeks, and she really made a customized training with me. She looked at me. She saw which machines I have in the gym, and then she was
Right.
like, "Oh, we'll do this little adjustment here. This is not good, or you can do this, so that I can train according to my body and abilities." So this helped very much, and also in prep. So we had made the setup for the contest this year already last year when she came here. So had really just a
Hmm.
training program, and then with time we always talked a little bit and did the little things, that it made it perfect.
Right. Yeah, it's the little things that count because it's all about the tweaking and dialing you in. And you certainly were dialed in. What was it like when they told you were going to the Olympia? Were you expecting it, or you
You
were just
know,
like, okay, I want to see how I'm going to do?
my goal. I've been off 5.5 years since last competition, and I had some injuries and really a really hard time the last years. And my goal for this year was only I want to go on stage. I want to see, I want to feel like an athlete again, like a pro. And I will want to have fun on that stage, to enjoy it, and see where I place. No expectations.
Right.
I really didn't tell many people that I'm competing. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
just, I didn't want that people come and, Swiss people are like, they don't tell you, good things. They usually tell you like, oh, you don't have a chance, and why are you doing this and that? It doesn't make
Mm-hmm.
sense. It just costs money, and, stuff like that. And I didn't want this negativity in my life. I just wanted to
Yeah.
have fun, enjoy it. So I didn't have expectations. My only expectation was I wanted to be in the top 5. So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, when I'm in the top 5, I'm the happiest person involved,
Yeah.
And then when they made me the first call out, I was like, yay! And I was in the middle, and I was like, oh, this could be some good thing. I was like,
Yeah.
I at top 2, yeah, good, but now you have to fight,
Yeah.
because Paula
You
was
do.
awesome. It
Yeah.
was
Pose down. Yeah.
nice. So and I was super happy. I mean, in bodybuilding, it's just that moment that counts. And for this moment, I was in the eyes of the jury better, what I very
Mm-hmm.
appreciated. And when they said like you're going to the Olympia, you're so happy, but you don't realize what it really means. I mean,
Right.
it's the Olympia. It's like I was always watching the Olympia on the stream, and and now me on this big stage with those many people watching all around the
Mm-hmm.
world. I'm like, I can't believe that, because
Now it's
I
gonna
feel
be you.
like very special. I'm like, yes.
So now you wind in. You're gonna come to the States in September, and then you're just gonna stay here and train and get ready, obviously, for October, the biggest
Mhm.
day in your career. I guess you could arguably say.
Yes, of course, yes.
Yeah. What are you? And you basically already mentioned it really hadn't hit you yet or dawned on you yet. But some of the things that you want to accomplish, what is going to be your goal for this Olympia? I mean, I know you mentioned before you won your qualification, you were only looking at top 5. Now you're on the biggest stage that there is, the Olympia. What are your goals? What is your expectation?
Huh, this is difficult because I mean, this is the Olympia. They are only the best of the best. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to go for a placing. I know that I have to improve certain areas of my body, and I
Mm-hmm.
want to do my best to improve them and to step on the stage and make a perfect performance what I can do. I mean, it's now 14 and a half weeks until the
Yeah.
Olympia.
Yeah.
So I just want to do every day my best to get the best package and to show myself there and make a nice presentation so that people enjoy it and yeah, see what can happen.
You never know. You never know.
Yes.
Um, and don't have any preconceived notions. I always say, don't just go there and think, well, I'm just glad to be here, because you never know. Do the best you can. Do the best of you. Take care of you, and let it all shake out on the stage.
Yes.
What
I
was
mean,
the
also,
specific? No, go ahead.
yes, as an athlete, it's not my role to judge something. I just do my
Hmm.
best, and what placing comes, it's up to the judges what they want
Yeah,
to see. And it's it doesn't matter what I think. It's matter
right.
what they think and what the fans want to see. So I just do
Yeah,
my best.
and you control what you can control. And right now,
Mhm.
you can control these next 14 and a half weeks. So,
Of course, yeah.
what was the judges' feedback? Did they give you anything? Told you need to work on this or that, or did you get any feedback at all?
Yes, this is something I very appreciate. They gave the chance to Taylor Manny and said that after the show you can come up to him and ask
Mm-hmm.
him about feedback, and I really appreciate that they give us this chance to see what to work on. And I went to him, I asked him, and he said my improvements. I need more improvements in arms. They are a little bit too small compared
Mm-hmm.
to the shoulders and chest that I have, and also the abs didn't pop up so much. So these are really tiny muscles. It's not
Yeah.
like I have to put much work, and I'm very confident that in those weeks I can make there some big changes.
And like I said, you're working with one of the best in the world. It's going to be very interesting because you're working right beside an Olympian uh, who's getting ready for the Olympia as well. So it's kind of cool. It's really a great story to see how
Mhm.
everything's taken off and it's just lined up. You know, when you look back and you first started your prep, you're like, well, just see what happens. And now here you are, you going to the Olympia. So
Yeah, it's
this
more
is
than
great.
I can dream of. It's like
Yeah.
it's unbelievable.
And then the thing, once you get that little taste, then it's be like, oh, okay, I got to get this again and again and again. So that's really great. Have you thought much about um, plans in 2025? You know, I obviously want to get through this first and win this moment as much as possible. But long term goals, I guess, would be my question. What are you looking at in 2025? Um, Obviously, another Olympia qualification. But who knows? You may not need to qualify. You may be in the top three. But
Mhm.
I guess what are you thinking long term?
I have to say, I didn't put so much. Years earlier, I was learned from Helle. Helle is just, the opposite of planning. She's just,
Mm-hmm.
today I do this, tomorrow I do that. You see, she travels so much. Sometimes she's in
Yes.
Brazil, once again, she's
Mm-hmm.
somewhere else. And this is something I learned from her that, do just the best of the moment. Don't think so much about the future because you
Mm-hmm.
never know. You cannot control it. Something
Right.
happens or things change, positive or negative, and you cannot plan everything ahead. What I
Right.
can say is I will for sure train my whole life and I will do bodybuilding. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I will stay in this sport, what contest and show and so on, that comes with time.
Yeah. Do you see yourself staying women's physique, or do you think down the road you may move up to women's bodybuilding?
That's a good question. And since the beginning, I really admired women's bodybuilding. I looked up to Hela Travino. I looked up to Alina Poppa. I was like, oh, this
Mm-hmm.
shape, this size, because they are on the top of the top. I mean, this is
Yes.
like this sport is about performance. It's not just
Mm-hmm.
it's really something nobody really can achieve. And but women's bodybuilding or bodybuilding overall, this is really something you need to be very good in training. You have to have the genetics. Everything needs to be on point, and you have to do that for years and years. And I
Mm-hmm.
looked up to this division and was like, oh, I want to be there. But at some point you have to realize that not everybody can do
Mm-hmm.
that. And
No.
after my injuries that I had out of the gym, by the way, my surgeon, I had the main triceps tendon rupture, and
Mm-hmm.
when the surgeon was suing, reattaching it, he told me that the quality of my tendon is not that good. This is genetically, it's not that
Mm-hmm.
elastic. And the problem is, muscle can grow. This is no problem. They can get
Right.
bigger, but the weakness are the joints and the tendons. So when I want to have bigger muscles, there will be more pressure and tension on the joints and the tendons. So I will have more pain, and then with pain you cannot train. So this is the
No.
problem. So when I have too much size, I feel it also in off season. When I have too much weight, water weight, I have joint problems really and tendon problems. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, it's really women's physique the perfect division. And as I would like to grow up to women's bodybuilding, my body is just
Mm-hmm.
not with that. And you have always to listen to your body.
Yes. Thank you for your response. I'm gonna let you take one question here from Flora Flower Forsyth. You heard bodybuilders Dorian Yates, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Lee Haney, and Sean Ray talk about psyching out competitors during contests. Does Sandra think using mind games will help her get an edge?
I'm not that kind of person, I'm like, everybody should do what they want to do, and I don't really care.
Hmm.
What I really enjoyed about the Empro Pro, or about Empro Classic show was the backstage. We were really
Mm,
friendly together. I had so many good talks with Lenka and Frida and Diana, and everybody was really, we were friends and families, and
hmm.
those fights in front of the show, this is, I think, something American. It's like, it's for the fans,
Yeah,
but in
to hype
Switzerland
it up.
we are
Yeah.
like, no, we are neutral, and like, oh, everybody should do that. We don't say anything, just stay calm, and so on. So I'm just, I do my job the best, and I don't
Hmm.
want to criticize anybody else, because everybody else did their work, and what comes out, and I will be happy with everything.
That's a great way to do about to look at it. Take care of you. Don't worry about the other person. Let them talk, and then when they get beat, just give them that little look, like, hey, really? And everybody use various mechanisms to
Yes.
hype up, but you got to motivate yourself. If you got to, you know, tear someone down to make yourself look good, that's really not the way. It's really not about getting in their head, because everybody's got to show up for the judges. That's whose head you got to get in, and get on their scorecard. So yeah.
I think also, when I go to work, I also think,
Hmm.
you know, I don't have to show or tell everybody how good I am. I don't have to wear
Right.
the medal all time long and saying,
Yeah.
I'm the champ or something like that. Because people, when they really care about you and look at you, they will recognize if you're a good person or not, and what your
Yeah.
values are.
Yeah. Exactly. Tell me about Switzerland. You lived there your whole life?
Yes, I've grown up here in Switzerland. My last name is Knezevic, so it's not Swiss. My
Okay.
parents immigrated in the 70s from former
Okay.
Yugoslavia to Switzerland. Um, and I was born and grown up here. I speak German. I went to school here. I have a university degree in finance, in major in business, but I
Uh-huh.
actually work now in the IT as a project and process manager.
Right. Speaking two languages is always a plus.
Well,
So
we have French also in school. We have had that.
okay.
I don't know, but I can speak a little bit.
Uh-huh.
It's complicated. It's just, I'm not really into languages, but I
Yeah.
speak French, and also I can understand, Croatian, but I'm very bad with speaking because I didn't ever practice.
Mm. Do you ever see yourself moving to the United States?
Yes, I would love to, but at the moment I have here a job, and it's
Yeah.
difficult to get a visa for job opportunities in the States. So this is the thing. But when I was
Yeah.
early 20s, I lived about half a year in New York, and this was the greatest time of my life, to be honest.
Hmm.
Sometimes I was thinking, damn, should I have stayed there,
Well, I'm wishing you all the best. I'm gonna let you out of here on this last question. I always hear about everybody talks about Switzerland in the Alps and Switzerland in the Swiss chocolate, as well
Mhm.
as Swiss watch and different other things. What's the best thing about Switzerland if I'm coming there as a tourist?
What do you want? Well, I would say, Switzerland has so many nice places, really in the mountains, where
Hmm.
you can go hiking and just enjoy the view. It's very spectacular with the mountains and the snow and everything. So yeah, if you go to Switzerland, just enjoy that. And Swiss chocolate you find on every corner, and cheese. This is no problem.
So that's really a thing, the Swiss chocolate.
Yes, I love that. It's just not on my diet plan, but
Yeah, yeah. Sadly. Sandra Knezevic. Hopefully I said that right. I'm gonna work on it.
Yeah,
So
we
glad
work on
that you could
this.
join me. Yeah. So glad that you could join me, and looking forward to talking to you again as we get closer to the Olympia. I'm gonna get you back on. Is that all
Mhm.
right?
Yes, that
So in
would be nice.
September,
I'm looking
yeah,
forward.
we'll hype up the Olympia and have our own little series going. So I'm gonna try to talk to as many uh, Olympians as possible as we get closer. So really appreciate you coming on. Thanks a lot. And are you off today? So you're gonna rest, and then you'll start training again tomorrow, or what's your plan now?
I will go this evening for a quick workout license.
Okay, 14 and a half weeks. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go.
Thank you for coming on. Appreciate you. Talk soon. We'll get you scheduled again in September when you get here.
Right. Awesome. Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Bye now. Take care. Sandra Knezevic on her way to the Olympia after qualifying at the Imperial Classic IFBB Women's Bodybuilder Women's Physique Olympian. So I'm going to track her. She's with Hela Travino and Team for Pro. So excited about that to see how this all comes together. An Olympian that's on the Olympia stage training someone that's qualified for the Olympia. So that's going to be fascinating to watch. I'm Glenn Young, GPS photography and video. Why photography and video? Because of a photo's worth 1,000 words, videos worth 1,000,000. Look forward to this week schedule series of podcasts coming at you again. So stay tuned. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Been under the weather a little bit this week, but I think it's finally breaking. So glad that's done. So look forward to you guys. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. As always, coming up, if you are doing the Atlanta Pro, reach out, schedule a photo shoot so we can get you in the magazine. Closing out the July and, of course, working on the September issue of Amazon's Fitness Magazine. I will see you guys soon. Look forward for the new schedule this week of podcasts coming up.